made me kind of like forced me to kind of figure out what I wanted to say and that kind of thing. I wanted to do something totally different from what I was doing before, so I picked up an acoustic guitar. All my friends thought I'd lost my mind at the time, but it seems to be working.
Do you feel when you're doing when you put on the acoustic guitar and you do your thing, is it easier for you to be a little bit more personal and reflective and write music that way, as opposed to being in a really loud, aggressive punk band?
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to be, really. Do you know what I mean? Again, it's just totally stripped back, and it's just either it's a good song, either people like what you do or they don't. You know what I mean? And you can't kind of do a headstand and fight the front row. Well, I mean, you could, but it would be weird.
Your new album is called Tape Deck Heart. Does anybody here actually have that handy yet? Or are you going out to get it right after? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I love the fact, Frank, and we were talking about this prior to you coming out here, that it's almost like it's a little lost on today's generation, the name of the album, Tape Deck Heart. Yet you did something special with it.
Yeah, we did actually. Well, I spent some time thinking about whether or not this was a good idea. We did, in the end, we pressed up some cassettes of the record, like a limited run. I was sort of two minds about it, because in one way it's a little bit kind of Williamsburg. Do you know what I mean? No one's got a cassette player anymore, except in your car, I suppose.
Actually, surprisingly, we have a couple of tape decks here. So well, if anybody needs a copy burned, we can do that, or record it.
But it was, I mean, it's kind of fun. I mean, in a way, part of the kind of reason for having it in the title is because tape decks are rubbish. Tape's a rubbish format for music. You know? If I could get back the hours of my life I spent with a pencil, but in it, that's kind of part of the appeal of the title to me, is it's about something that kind of doesn't really work properly.
You know, with the way the music industry is and how music gets out to people, in terms of distribution and all that kind of nonsense, does it change the way you approach making a record? Knowing whether it's going to be sold as a single through iTunes, or maybe some people are going to go out and actually buy the physical product in the store. Does that cross your mind in your approach to writing your songs or your music or your product?
I hope not. I mean, I kind of try really hard not to think about the business side of anything when writing, because to my mind the two should be completely separate. You know, when I write, I just try and write a good song, and when I make a record, it's about trying to make a good album. Obviously, I've got opinions and ideas about how music's distributed and pressed and all that kind of thing, but that shouldn't have anything to do with writing a song. You know what I mean?
So it wouldn't really stop you from putting out a full-length album. Some bands have said that they don't necessarily see the point in putting out a full-length album anymore because.
But the album is still an art form. The album is 45 minutes of music that flows, that has a kind of contiguity. There's a word to it. I still don't. Maybe it makes me old-fashioned, but I definitely believe that the album still exists as a thing.
All right, the cool thing we like to do is let some people from the audience ask questions. Anybody have a question they'd like to ask Frank? Real quick, because you do? Stand up nice so we can hear you. Just stand up, make sure you're nice and loud. Stand up. Decline. Hello. Hi.
Hi. First off, you're cool.
So are you.
Are you one of those songwriters that agonize for months over a song, or do you just sit down and write it out in 15 minutes?
Both. I mean, so, like, sometimes you get a song that just arrives, do you know what I mean? And it shows up and it goes, oh, I'm done. And you go, okay, fine. And sometimes you get a song, actually one of the ones we're going to play in a minute is a song that has taken, I'd say, 5 years to sort itself out. And I've got demo tapes that have it in about 1,000 different arrangements, and I agonize over, like, syllables and, like, past tense versus present tense in the lyrics, I versus we versus you. I just lose sleep over this. I've got no friends.
And by the same token, then you probably can't pick a favorite song of yours that you've written because they're all.
But that's like asking a mother to choose between her children.
Right. And a lot of artists say that it's just impossible to pick one of those songs.
Each one, every song's got kind of so much time and love and sweat and blood and tears invested in it that they sort of exist independent of each other.
What do you say, guys? You want to hear Frank Turner play some music? Yeah!